Larry Haverty, a portfolio manager at Gamco Investors, which owns approximately $45 million in the stock, joins us from Newton, Massachusetts. Larry, so we have Macau producing returns for Wynn, but what do you think about the after-hours trade for the shares? Down 3.5% here.
I think it's totally irrelevant, Susan. I just spent 4 days in Macau, and I think people on this side of the pond have no idea of the potential long-term growth in the market. I think it's probably going to grow after you anniversary tough comparisons 30%, and then beyond that 25%. And you've got a very controlled entry situation. There are 6 concessionaires. A couple of them are capital constrained, and the people with capital are going to gain share. You heard that Wynn's going to open another facility. He's making a phenomenal return on invested capital in Macau. I expect that's going to continue. He and Sheldon, they hate each other, but they're in different niches of the market. Sheldon's in the mass market. Steve is in the high end, and they're both going to prosper mightily. We own both of the stocks, and I think they've been both great stocks this year, and I think that's going to continue. I see easily 50% in both of them.
Wow, 50% in both of them. What about Macau? Because people are looking at Macau as the revenue driver since Las Vegas is dragging. But when I spoke to Steve Wynn back in April when he opened Encore, he seemed really unsure as to when he's going to build in Cotai. What's with the delay here?
Well, Steve, I've known him for 25 years, and this is the first time that I can remember that he actually didn't have a steam shovel in the ground. My guess is the steam shovel is going to hit the ground probably in 6 months. But this is a person who plans impeccably. Susan, he's the smartest guy in the room. He understands exactly what the consumer wants, or at least his consumer, because he doesn't want the entire universe as his consumer. And I think he's got that figured out, and it's a question of crossing the T's and dotting the I's. He has a fortress balance sheet. He has the lowest cost of capital in the gaming industry, so he can get equity at a very low cost, and he can build whenever he wants. And my guess is 6 months from now, you'll see the shovels breaking in Macau. Interestingly, I stayed in Kowloon on my way back, and there are about 24 big neon signs in Central that you can see from Kowloon. The only American sign in the whole harbor is Wynn. So he's planted his flag in Asia. This is really an Asian company. My guess is that probably 80 to 90% of the incremental growth in this company is going to come from Asia, and I think he's going to be in other Asian companies besides Cotai in a matter of years.
Larry, let's talk about that. I'm going to have to look at the harbor once again if Wynn is the only American brand I see. But, you call Wynn the smartest man in the room. I'm sure he likes to hear that. Maybe Sheldon Adelson doesn't. But what about Singapore? He missed out there on building one of those big 2 casinos.
Well, the 2 participants in Singapore, and I was just down there, they're going to be big winners. And there were only 2 franchises allotted, and Steve lost out to Sheldon. I think there are going to be other franchises, and I think the franchisors are going to say, well, look, we've got Sheldon and we've got Steve, and I frankly think that both of them, because I own both stocks, are going to divide the spoils. Interestingly, we've got one of these contests in my own home state right now, Massachusetts. I expect that by tomorrow we'll have legalized gambling, and I wouldn't be surprised if 2 of the people who are building the mega resorts in Massachusetts, one is Sheldon and one is Steve, and they'll both continue their fight. They're never going to reconcile, and they're both going to walk to the bank, and as will their shareholders.
Yeah, it wouldn't be the same if they were actually friends. Okay, Larry, nice talking to you.
Oh, they're not
Larry
friends.
Haverty of Gamco
Thanks a lot,
Investors.
Susan.
That's what I'm saying. It would be different if they were friends. It wouldn't be as interesting, I suspect. Okay, thank you for that.